You guys, with the 2021 NBA season ultimately getting into the final stretch of things, it is leading to one of my most anticipated points of every NBA season. And honestly, most of you have probably already guessed it, but yes, it is the NBA offseason, more particularly the free agency period. And no matter what year it is, you guys, there's always some sort of speculation around a handful of big name players in the NBA that might be on the move. And if you guys are watching this video, I'm sure that you are keeping up with the news and rumors just as much as I am. And with this, you most likely know that one of the biggest names hitting the free agent market this offseason is none other than Kawhi Leonard of the Los Angeles Clippers. And I know, before we get any further into this video and discussion, I am aware that the frontrunner to sign Kawhi Leonard this offseason is once again the Los Angeles Clippers. But you guys, honestly, where's the fun in that? Because we also do once again need to realize that we are not just dealing with any normal NBA superstar here, we are dealing with the one and only Kawhi Leonard. The same man who left the reigning champion Toronto Raptors, who did have the opportunity to run it back the next season, to inevitably go to LA to return to his hometown. I know that in itself may be a big reason about why Kawhi Leonard might stay with the LA Clippers, but seriously, you guys, you truly never know. So with this, let's get into some of the most realistic situations that we could see Kawhi Leonard potentially going to in the 2021 NBA offseason. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe, and turn on those noties to never miss another NBA video. Love you guys. Now, the first situation that I'm going to present to you guys might seem like a bit of a stretch for some people, but it ultimately could happen if the right pieces were to fall into place. And yes, if you haven't caught on already, we are talking about the Golden State Warriors. Now, I know for any generic NBA fan that is watching this video, the idea of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kawhi Leonard all on the same team is frightening to say the very least. But again, somehow, some way, it could happen. But unlike many other situations we're going to discuss, there is ultimately one path that this can take in order to come to fruition, and this would be through a sign and trade. Now, before I get any further into this situation, I do want to make it clear that the only way a sign and trade like this could go through between the Clippers and the Warriors is if Kawhi Leonard walked into the Clippers front office and said, "I am leaving no matter what. If you want something in return for me, you better do this sign and trade." And honestly, the Clippers still wouldn't have to go through this situation that Kawhi would try to enforce, because maybe they wouldn't even want the pieces that Golden State is willing to give up. But the somehow possible sign and trade for Kawhi Leonard, if it were to come true, would need to include something along the lines of Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, and the number 7 and 14 overall picks this year. And again, with that, who's to say the Clippers would even want this? I don't know, you guys. This is a very messy situation, that is for sure, but it is also one of the most talked about ones, so I had to bring it up in this video. However, next up, we have a team that would not have to pull off a trade by any means to pull in Kawhi Leonard this offseason. Yes, you guys, it is the New York Knicks. As if you were not aware, before getting into the efforts of re-signing any of their current players right now, the New York Knicks are set to have around $55 million in cap space this free agency. Like I have said in previous videos, more than ever this offseason, there is high levels of speculation that the Knicks will bring in a star player this offseason. If we're being real with ourselves, Kawhi Leonard going to the New York Knicks would probably be the best case scenario that the New York Knicks could have had out of any of the previous seasons. As we all witnessed this season, this young and prosperous New York Knicks team showed so much promise and potential throughout the 2021 season. With the entire team showing this high level of play, you have to think that this is a promising sign for any free agents hitting the markets. We're not really sure how Kawhi would be looking at it, but hey, you'd think it'd be in a positive manner. But this is what honestly makes the New York Knicks situation more intriguing than many others, is the fact that they do not have to blow up this team in any way, shape, or form to try and obtain Kawhi. I mean, the idea of playing in a big market and playing for a franchise like the New York Knicks could be enticing to the regular free agent, but again, we're talking about Kawhi here. But that kind of incentive might be the last thing on his mind. Who knows? I don't think anybody does. But anyway, let's get into another situation that I have seen frequently and is honestly very surprising to me, which is the concept of Kawhi Leonard going to the Dallas Mavericks to team up with Luka Doncic. Now, if this is the first time you have heard this scenario, I'm sorry for throwing you in a loop like that, but yes, you guys, this is actually being discussed. However, like we previously mentioned with the Warriors, the only way the Dallas Mavs would be able to pull off a scenario like this is if they did a sign and trade with the Clippers involving Kristaps Porzingis. At least I would assume it would need to involve Kristaps Porzingis. One way or another, it just seems like the Mavs are trying to ship this man out no matter what. But I know I'm thinking the same thing that you guys are, is that the initial idea of a sign and trade with Kristaps Porzingis for Kawhi Leonard seems very far-fetched. So maybe the Dallas Mavs could try to entice them them a little bit by throwing in additional solid pieces from this Mavs roster and a lot of draft stock. But again, really, the only way that this goes through is if Kawhi goes up to the Clippers front office and says, I want to play in Dallas, and the Clippers end up agreeing to what the Mavs would be sending their way. So yes, I'm aware that it is very unlikely, but this is also one of the more discussed situations, and hey, who wouldn't love to watch Luka and Kawhi play side by side? If you wouldn't, you're either a Clippers fan or you're just not a fan of basketball. Last but not least, you guys, we have a scenario with Kawhi Leonard leaving the Clippers that I feel a lot of people watching this video were waiting for, and yes, it is Kawhi Leonard teaming up with Jimmy Butler on the Miami Heat. Now again, like the Knicks, this is another very enticing offer because the Miami Heat would not have to trade anybody to acquire this man, as they would have enough cap space to do so, ultimately meaning that Kawhi Leonard could leave to join the Heat, a team that was just in the NBA Finals 2 years ago that yes, has a lot of questions to answer, but also has a lot of potential, especially when you think of the idea of pairing up Jimmy Butler and Kawhi Leonard side by side on the same team. And I think I can confidently say as well that if Kawhi Leonard were to go to the Miami Heat with Jimmy, a lot of free agents hitting the market this season as well would be very enticed to follow. It's honestly pick your poison at this point when we're trying to configure where Kawhi Leonard will sign in the 2021 free agency period. Like I said, it's still fun to do so. Who doesn't love some good NBA turmoil? But you guys, I also do want to know what team you think has the highest chance of getting Kawhi Leonard this offseason. Not necessarily the team that has the highest chances, more so the team that you guys think can give him the best offer to play with. I also just wanted to say, you guys, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like on it down below and subscribe while you're down there. Brand new NBA videos around here on a daily basis, you guys. You don't want to miss what we got coming on this channel going forward. But once again, you guys, as always, thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching. I appreciate all of y'all more than anything in the world. You all know this, and I will see you guys in the next video.